Navi Jr. are rocking. I mean, I feel like if anybody's going to have appreciation for inter-hero synergy, it's going to be No Tail, right? I mean, that OG roster was
100%.
so good at being able to do something like that. So he is going to be very appreciative of what Navi Jr. has put together here. And you said the Naga Siren lineup, a win condition of like 30 to 40 minutes. Well, we saw both of those games for Navi Jr. In fact, all three of them ended before right around that 40-minute marker. The game that they stomped over in Enigma Galaxy, that one was 30 minutes, but the other two were 39 and 41 minutes, right? So you don't have much of a window if you're OG, but maybe they could just hit it perfectly.
The one thing they have going for them with this Naga is there's almost no illusion clear in like the first half of this game. Like none of these heroes on the side of Navi Jr. are dealing with Naga illusions around the map. It takes really long for them to clear. Venge is horrendous against it. The Tiny is not much better until later on. Terrorblade creates his own pressure, but he doesn't really kill Naga illusions either. So this is a really free Naga game in terms of what Shad can do around the map to create pressure that pulls Navi Jr. apart and allows OG to find the team fights they want or the pickoffs they want. And that team fight is no joke. Undying, Naga, Jakiro, super strong sleep setup team fight. You get multiple heroes in an ice path under a tombstone. Oftentimes that's enough to win you the fight, particularly if the Magnus gets caught blinking in or just caught in the sleep in general. So I do like this OG draft conception. I think it does answer Navi Jr.'s game plan. The level of execution required, that's another question. It is very high here. Like, these Naga lineups are not as easy to run as they look like on paper. You need a really good Naga player who knows how to abuse illusions in the right parts of the map, and you need a team that understands where that map pressure is going to move heroes around and set up the plays properly.
We did have 3 bounty runes going the way of OG because Kadaro managed to outclick Zayats for the one that was under contest. So nice little start there. Meanwhile, we're going to be seeing the Stormstormer Niku Tiny versus Puck matchup. Now, Stormstormer had some sick plays for OG. It does feel like he was playing pretty well under the pressure, and he's done so before. He has really shown up at some LAN events. Seems like his performance maybe wasn't good enough for Avalis, but maybe it could be good enough for OG.
He's having himself a run, and we've seen this matchup a couple times in this qualifier. It seems to be a very common go-to in terms of the puck comes out or the puck even gets picked into the Tiny in this situation. And this lane has definitely gone back towards the puck from where it was in the past. Like, on average, these players are doing better with the puck than they were in previous patches. Maybe some of the little tiny nerfs adding up. And yeah, I think it's not too bad if you can get out of the lane in a solid spot. Of course, Tiny still has like decent kill threat on you in the mid game, but a lot of that is also about the follow-up that can be put on this puck as well, because Tiny does not 100 to 0 this hero anymore, especially with some of these like Ags, Octarine buildups. You end up with 2,000 plus HP on puck easily in that mid game.
It's pretty clean at getting the pull up the ramps there, but still loses the range creep. We got to pause here. So Avery, I'm going to ask you here. You said you need a really good Naga Siren player to make this work. Now, I'm not going to assume that you have deep history with Shad, that you know how good of a Naga Siren player he is, but what does your gut say? But from what you've seen of him as a player, what he usually does best, do you think he's a good Naga Siren player?
Honestly, I'm not going to pretend to know. Like,
okay.
I think I will say, if you get picked Naga in this kind of situation where it's ultra last pick in a game like this that is like very good Naga game, but there's also a lot of pressure on you to control the game versus a lineup that's going to scale really well, you have to have confidence in your Naga. You can't be some like casual Naga player where you're like, oh yeah, I can play the hero. You know, you have to have been tutored by AUI for 100 hours or something like we saw happen to Skeeter. So I feel like I have some confidence in Shad here. I think to pick it in this situation, he definitely has the ability to execute this game.
Okay. Well, I will just tell you the stats say it is outside of his top 10 for his most played heroes professionally, and he's only played it 34 times, 47% win rate. So not terribly inspiring, but maybe he can upset the stats here. They don't tell the full story.
To be fair, I don't think Naga has been super strong during a lot of his like career so far. You know, some of those really good Naga patches where players developed this hero were a long time ago.
Sure. Yeah.
In terms of the tier 1 scene. So if the hero's not in the meta, you're not going to practice it. You're not going to play it. Your Naga's probably not going to be as good as some of these old school carries who, you know, have 100+ games on it. So far, looking good for him though.
He does
you are
have,
free farming this lane.
Obviously, there was a time where people were playing on Smurfs and stuff, but on this account, he does have, it is one of his more played heroes. It's in his top 10, and he's played 215 matches of Naga Siren at a 60% win rate in pubs. So he does have the reps in. He does have the reps in.
That's step number 1. Step number 2 is destroy your enemy. Step number 3, profit.
We still have yet to have First Blood, which would be big profit for somebody, but seems like the opportunity is not presenting themselves. Constantly, this bottom lane is going at it, but nobody quite dies. Smart TP away from the Vengeful Spirit as Zayat is continuing to do his pole shenanigans.
Gotta do shenanigans with this 4-mag. No way you're playing any of these lanes straight up. We've seen this time and time again. As long as you get out of it, you get the stacks up, you're pretty happy. There is a Tombstone available top if they want to try and all in this Terrorblade. They already have boots up on the Mixa Undying. Definitely some aggressive options available up here, but there is always the TP out as well. Ideally, you can like double wave this in off of a half pull or something and just dive this Terrorblade with the Tombstone. There's not a lot that stops it here. Even if you force the TP, you're still happy with that outcome.
Yeah. You
could also just stack. I mean, that's the other play for days up here. Stack up these Ancients, get a really big triangle, and let it clear.
There we go. Catching Kadaro while they're trying to do some pulling, and PMA gets the First Blood. So because he managed to make that smart TP earlier, he actually benefits directly, as he's the one who gets the First Blood gold.
That's super nice pickup for him. This offlane Venge needs as much gold as he can get. Glyph to protect the range creep. Stormstormer, he wants to die.
He wants this kill. He's been doing really well in this lane, but he's got to be careful not to throw it underneath the tower. I was going to give him props. 31-6 against a Puck versus Tiny matchup is a quite nice score. Got the juice, gets caught in a disruption tombstone drop, and was not able to get out of there in time.
Did not go for the TP play. Could have just TP'd out, but tried to run it off. Not a lane you're going to run off. Another big courier that's boots for the Warlock. Some big couriers going down early in this game. Man, what a find for PMA though. Out of all the cores to get that First Blood, this is the one that wanted it the most. Helps this lane so much. There's a lot of stacking going on from Daze though. That's the other upside. Like you can let this Undying play the lane solo. He's already level 5 off that kill. And he has a huge amount of stacks to go back to here. This is pretty scary for Navi Jr. because their lineup does not contest these. So this stacking is just free for OG.
I feel like Stormstormer maybe could have had a kill there if he wanted to drop the coil on Zayat. But, I mean, he had the Jakiro back him up, but he opted not to do so. We'll see if he is holding the coil for something better.
Probably not this Tiny. His HP is way too high now.
Kadaro coming back to lane. He's going to be caught by the trap setup from Zayat and PMA. They're just lurking on the stairs. No shortcuts back to lane. They keep on punishing him for being in this jungle area.
I mean, they have really played this lane well. Did not give up that early kill. They pulled the lane, dodged the early bad matchup, and now this Venge. Highest net worth out of lane with the First Blood gold plus the gold off that kill. That's huge for this hero, right? Like, this is a very clunky hero, but if you can get the levels up early, and especially with this Magnus and power, it goes a really long way to accelerating him. Wisdom Shrine going to Zayat as well. That's a level 4 mag. Just got to get these empower points up. That's what kind of unlocks this lineup. I feel like this is one of the better starts we've seen for Navi Jr. with this strategy. Yeah, with this undefeated strategy, they've had bumpier roads to travel. Oh, yeah. And they still managed to get to the end line. Shad
tries to take the fight, but yeah, this is a 1v2 for now. So Chikiro is now up to top lane, so they're gonna leave Shad alone, which does beg the question: what is Navi Jr. gonna do with Zayats? Does he stick around here? Does he just continue to focus on stacking and stuff, or does he actually try and help out around the map, as the 8-minute power rune is going to spawn soon?
I think you just focus on the stacking. You let the Tiny contest the rune if he wants. It's a hero that can kind of do it solo safely. You're just not going to contribute much anyway. He would have gotten that one. See, like, that's fine. This is why you rather stack. You miss it on the 50-50, but whatever. It's not the best rune anyway. Your priority with this lineup is to get levels, to get farm, and stacking is the most
Diving
efficient
into the
way
top
to get
lane.
there.
TP out. It's a good TP, but it's not good enough. It's unfortunately the damage amp that comes out from the Undying is too much to handle. Level 3 decay is also gonna make you pretty weak as a support that doesn't have too much strength as is.
Rather lose the Warlock than the Terrorblade there, though. Has got the juice. He's done with that lane, and wisely so. This is where the Jakiro with 3 points liquid fire can do some work, though. Like, take away these towers, open up the map, and start taking away the camps from this Magnus lineup. Generally a strategy that has worked well against this hero in the past. Get it for free here.
Well,
now you're really looking at this mid-tier one. Look at the stacking, man. Days. This guy must have like 8 or 9 stacks already in this game.
Damn. Big stacks on both sides. Can either side invade? Yeah, they're matching each other perfectly. 5 stacks from the Shadow Demon, 5 stacks from the Magnus.
Actually thought he would have had more, but yeah. Not too bad. They're going to give it to Storm here.
Bottom lane, Zayats trying to get the Skiro away, but no. Kadaro on his return to lane will punish. That's because Zayats is playing the lane solo now, because PMA is now going to clear through those stacks, much like we're seeing Stormer do on the other side. So these teams are really mirroring each other. Is resulting, though, in a 2,000 net worth lead early on for OG, between the tower being taken and some of the lanes being won, such as the mid lane. I think that was the worst of the matchups. Yeah, this is quite the lead that OG have built up already.
This is the part where they can continue to escalate the game, because they can bring this Undying to a fight mid. They can try and invade Navi Jr.'s triangle with the Tombstone as well if they want to move.
Commits to the rune, and he doesn't get it again. A little bit of a punish here with Disruption, but he's so tanky. They will not go for the kill. So Stormer is going to get another rune, and this is one that he wishes he had gotten. It's going to be an arcane rune. Both the Tiny and Puck would have loved to have that, but it ends up in Stormer's pocket.
They're going to TP the Undying mid. This is the correct play. You need to take this tower down early. You need to open up enemy side of the map, particularly these Ancients. And this will do this for sure. No way you're taking this fight right now. You have a level 5 Warlock, level 5 Mag. Your best play is to swap in a Tiny combo, and that's not winning you the fight. So tower dead. Nice catapult timing as well, and instant smoke on that arcane rune Puck straight into that Ancient camp. Already been cleared. It's the downside here for OG, but this move is good regardless. Like, you're going to be able to get vision out, you're going to be able to control the area, and if you can get a kill on top of it, you'll be super happy with this play.
They do know that they're usually going to be stacks on both sides, so they're going to go to the other side of this stacking off-lane situation. Run it to Zayats. Can he get the skewer off? Disrupted. And into the Ice Path, into the Silence. Decently tanky support, but the coil to ensure he does go down, even the Macro Pyre.
It's a nice little move. I mean, to me, that kills like the least important part of this move. The more important is you got this ward out deep. You took away some of the time to farm the Ancients, and you got the last tier 1 tower. So that's 3 tier 1 towers down by the 11-minute mark. That's a lot of space to operate with, especially for a Naga Siren. Like, Naga loves these towers going down, because every time you get an item, you can start to put these illusions deeper on the map. It's taking away more space, it's giving your team more vision. It's a big map control advantage for OG right now, but they have to use it. They cannot let this game just peter out and become a far point.
That bar graph is hilarious. 16 building damage on the side of Navi Jr. That is, yeah, they really haven't had good enough control. There it is. There's your 16 damage, I guess. Or maybe it's mid. Somebody did it somewhere. The creep's obviously an impact as well. That's not going to be counted, but yeah, Shad's in a great spot. He's going to have a very fast Manta. He's the highest net worth hero. As you said, he's got extra map control with these early towers down, so his illusions can push in even deeper. Spicy stuff.
That's a scary position. That said, we've seen Navi Jr. in this position with this lineup before. We've seen them in a worse spot with this lineup, and it's a very tough lineup to fight deep into on their side of the map once, like, the tiny blink is done, the Magnus blink, the level 2 Venge swap is when it starts to get a little harder to bring this hero down in combination with the Ag's timing. So there's still a lot of timings to be hit here for Navi Jr. And again, this space is only good for OG if you use it for something.
Well, they are
another smoke play.
Continuing to stack up here, so they're just going to maintain a net worth advantage, if not grow on it, if they can keep on invading the Navi Jr. triangle. You can see Navi Jr. though, they are very experienced with this lineup, and we've seen them. They're very patient with it. They're okay with just dodging fights for a long time, but this fight they won't be able to dodge. Golem's going to be dropped on him, trying to stop, try and get him away from this Terror Blade. Got the juice. Can he get off a good Sunder? Here he will not. Awaiting Ritz held through the entire time to execute him in the end. They will manage to get a skewer back kill onto the Shadow Demon, but it's something small for Navi Jr. Nothing major. They lose their core Terror Blade, and that's going to hurt.
There's no way you're fighting this Undying at this point in the game. Like, just no chance. Wherever Mixa shows up, you're either dodging that fight or just trying to get some little collateral out of it. Which, you get something there, but nothing to write home about. 14-minute rune, it's a haste. Not a bad pickup here for the Mag. Maybe you can get another support kill.
And Nico sitting on the side. I like how he just doesn't really run at the kill. He seems very clearly afraid of maybe some sort of song setup, or maybe they get stuck in a coil or something. They have a kill. He doesn't group up.
Downside is you lost your Wisdom Shrine to Naga. Like, again, the map control Shat has to work with is huge, and he's putting so much pressure on his bottom half of the map. You're going to miss out on the XP. There's the Ags done for the Venge, though. Pretty nice timing, all things considered. 3-0 start. Yeah, they're going to smoke with it.
Yeah, I mean, are you strong enough to fight? Good. The Ags is a great team fight, but as you said, you can't fight this Undying right now.
Yeah, you'd have to 100-0 him before he pops Crimson, basically, which is quite difficult until you have a couple more mobility items, a bit more burst damage.
And if you're going to fight into this tier 1 area, he also has that ceaseless dirge. He'll just come right back. Yep. So even if you do get that initiation, you probably just have to take the kill and run, just because he might come back for you. Still looking, but no opening to be found. Oh, there it is. Managed to finally get that Blink Avalanche catching Daze. No team fight, just a little pick off on a support. OG, they can weather that, no problem.
This is nice for Navi Jr. if you can get the tower off this. So it was a tower that was not easy to just run at, and now you're going to get it with this Venge Ags timing and a little pick off. You have some good vision around this mid area as well. OG decided to come in here and easily look for some pickoffs or fights. And again, you're just evening out this game, right? You don't need big gains here if you're Navi Jr. You just need to stabilize and find little trade-offs, because the Naga is going to start to ramp up now, in fact. Shad gets a little freebie here in the jungle.
Very good freebie. Now, speed him along to his Orchid, which is going to be very dangerous. But you have these tanky heroes on Navi Jr. Orchid into the eventual Bloodthorn. He's going to go Heart first, but eventually you're going to get a Bloodthorn. That really cuts these tanky heroes down to size, and it makes Terrorblade's life a lot harder.
He is going to be a menace around the map. Another attempt on the
missed the skewer this time around. Science had to wait that out a little bit longer, but they still get the kill as long as Niku doesn't get punished here. They actually go for the swap back on a Kadaro. They know the puck is around here, but they want the extra kills, feeling like with the Aghanim Scepter, they're strong enough to do so. And yeah, OG don't really challenge them. So now 2 supports getting picked off. Navi Jr. picking up a bit of steam here.
OG are bleeding around this map, and they're not getting that head-up team fight with the Undying strength right now. Like, Blink Crimson done for Mixa. He's still arguably the strongest hero on the map in a straight-up fight, but you're not finding it. Orchid is done for the Naga. So as you mentioned, Shad is really scary around the map right now. But it does feel like Navi Jr. are getting the better of these little trades, and we saw the damage there. Like, this damage is going to ramp up really fast, and it catches people off guard. So you have to respect it.
We do have a Blink Dagger for the Undying as well, so I would expect OG to start getting a bit more aggressive. When you're this farmed on the Undying, Blink Dagger just feels great. You get on top of some backline hero with Flesh Golem right away, they're screwed. There's nothing they can do about it. Niku almost getting caught by the smoke, will get caught by the smoke, but it's going to be a bit of a stretch here. Diving into the tier 2, the Orchid's going to help do some serious damage, and yeah, they just surround him. Got the juice, does teleport in. He has to deal with the tombstone right now, and the 1-by-1 Navi Jr. is coming in. Got the juice, needs to get off on Sunder before the lane rips, and he does manage to do so, but it doesn't matter. The Undying is just too damn strong for him to handle.
You're not fighting this guy. Like, I don't know what the game plan there is, but half the team said, I have no business being up there. That is just a way too ambitious play. I got the juice. I mean, this Terrorblade is not having any impact. He got really debilitated by this Naga pick. He's struggling to push the map out. He can't take the fights. This is the big concern for Navi Juniors. Can this Terrorblade eventually find impact? Because the rest of your heroes are kind of finding these little openings. You get another pick off on the Shadow Demon. This Venge is having a terrific game. But your carry is feeling real useless right now. Yeah, and there's an Aegis for Stormstormer.
I feel like it should just be a clear rule for Navi Jr. You're not fighting into the Undying. And if you choose to fight into the Dying, it has to be a Venge setup for that team fight, right? It has to be one of those swap pickoffs where the enemy team is like, well, now we have to go on this Venge who has an Aghanim Scepter, and so you're playing off of 2 lives. That situation was just awful. Your Tiny's being gone on, and the Terrorblade is the first one there to help him out. Maybe it'd be something different if the Venge was trying to swap him out. And again, then you play to that extra life on the Venge, but it's, ooh, this smoke could be big. They have a smoke on Shad, or a ward on Shad, rather. The smoke to him. They run into him. Hit with the avalanche. Toss back into the magic missile. Get the chain stuns. They drop the RP to ensure there's no chance of a Song of Siren here.
That's a huge pickoff as the ward was expiring. Such a clutch ward to set all of that up. Man, when you kill Naga Siren in these games, it feels like you won. Like, I only need to do that once or twice more. It's so much relief around the map in terms of the timings. Big pickoff here. Slows down that heart timing. Damn, would have made that kill a lot more difficult. And the more of these opportunities you can find that also dodge the Undying right now, the better you're going to feel as well.
Yeah, your lineup is going to scale up, and Undying, he does fall off. That's the biggest problem with this core Undying. He is so strong in this window of time, but give it another 20 minutes, and he's going to feel like maybe a slightly strong support rather than a core.
Still get the Tormentor, even with that Naga pickoff. Navi Jr. not opting to stay up here. Maybe feel like they can't contest the Undying anyway, so may as well just farm the map. That'll be the cleanse for the Shadow Demon. Not too bad. They're all going to gate bottom here. Looking at that Terrorblade, he's juicy, but the team is behind him.
Yeah, I mean,
don't have the Naga here.
Yeah, no Naga Siren. He's going to start looping in. Stormstormer stretching out a little bit. Actually, he doesn't jump to his orb.
He didn't watch
That's not what happened. Okay, he's got the Aegis, sure, but that's still an awful situation. Zayas tried to go in, but immediately got countered. Disruption into Ice Path. No RP going to be used here. Swap back onto Daze. They're going to try and blow him up. They still have the Golem. Chain stunning him up. Trying to finish him off. PMA on his first life will take out one of the supports. Meanwhile, Orchid got used, but didn't put any damage. The Tiny chases after, blinks after Daze. Tries to hit him with a toss combination. That is not quite enough, but they give it up on the Shadow Demon, but apparently he's just going to TP out. Navi Jr. making sure that they stay playing around each other as much as possible.
Oh, weird fight, man. This Terrorblade was actually doing some work to that Undying because the fight was so split. You didn't get this big Crimson pop on everybody. It's actually able to output some serious damage. It's just an awkward position for OG. Not expecting the whole team to be there. The fight gets super split. Your Shadow Demon ends up in the Lotus Fountain, TPing out, barely survives. Zayat's caught on the Blinken as well with the disruption. Man, awkward fight for both teams, but again, Navi Jr. probably okay with that. Because they don't lose any big cores, can kind of just reset on the map, and there's your BKB for the Tiny. Might get caught here, though. Might have to use it.
Tag with a bit of damage, and immediately, RP on 2. They skewer him up to the high ground here and cover him with the avalanche. Now, they don't have enough AoE damage, it seems. They don't have the stuns or anything. Shad is going to be able to pop a song if he wants to, and he does so now. PMA, he's probably going to die on the side here. That's his first life. Now to play for more catch. Do they kill the bench again? He's going to swap, try and run for it, but it looks like he's going to die a second time. Nobody else dies for it in the situation. But what a shame. A great RP, but no follow-up to it.
Just kind of have to be aware of that situation. Your Terrorblade's not at the fight. The heroes are super split. The position you skewered them to, there's pretty limited follow-up. Great RP, but nothing to really do with it. And an awkward situation again for Navi Jr. as OG start to take a little lead here. Again, their 5-man team fight right now is crazy strong. You also got to keep this evasion in mind for the Naga. Like, there's no evasion pierce right now.
Very big kill.
Oh, that is massive. Just walked into it.
Oh, the skewer just a little bit shy. Zayats doesn't quite have the length, only level 2 skewer to get the job done.
Will be an instant respawn for this Undying.
Sure.
Ceaseless Dirge, but honestly, this is kind of not the death you want to use the Dirge on, right? Like, you prefer to have it for a Roche fight or some kind of push or something. Just randomly dying on the map and then you don't get anything. Just puts it on cooldown. It's kind of like a bad Wraith King ult.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This Terrorblade's picking up some steam, getting involved in a big kill, doing a bit more damage during this meta, and we're not seeing like super deep lane cutting from this Naga yet.
Yes.
Thought we'd see a little bit more of it, but he's not really able to drag heroes back to awkward positions. It's just been really efficient jungle farming. And this has rewarded him with a lot of net worth. A very fast hard timing. He's getting huge. The downside is you're not pulling Navi Jr. around the map as much as you maybe could.
Maybe with the heart, maybe that's when he's going to start employing those tactics. Because you're right. The best Naga Sirens look so obnoxious to play against, where they're like sitting in triangle and they're using their illusions to cut both mid and bottom wave. And
yeah, here he gets it. This is kind of what you're looking for, right? Exactly. This is going to force some sort of response. So tier 2 dying top, this gives him a bit more freedom. He'll get both those waves for full, and if you can do this again, it's a lot of map control. Navi Jr. at the moment at least aren't responding. It seems like they don't care too much, which is fair. I mean, they can farm super fast. You're going to lose some tower HP, but you have Empower efficiency.
Zayats, he'll be the one to come back. But the Tiny is still out there, playing off of a very deep ward they have in the bottom part of the map, and keeping pressure on that bottom tier 2.
I also feel like this Tiny Ags is when this lineup kind of comes together.
Yeah.
Because you buff this guy up, he hits so hard, you get this tree volley going in, and this tree volley isn't as strong as it used to be, but man, when you have this much damage amp behind it, you just decimate heroes in the first 3 or 4 hits.
Yeah, empowered
that's all
tree
takes.
hits are crazy.
So this will be a big timing for Niku. If you can get there, you have BKB to guarantee you get that tree volley off, right? There's no interrupt for it in this game. You just sit in that fight, BKB volley. OG have to take it. There's no choice. Even if you're songing there, you just die during the song if you get initiated on first.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Rotating for this puck, smoked up on Navi Jr. with a few heroes. It looks like they found the initiation on Daze. Not Stormstormer, who's going to be able to get a good 2-man coil. His team is rotating in, but they're a little bit slow. Radiance. He gets jumped on by the Undying. The Undying strikes going straight for Got the Juice. He's got him to half HP, but he's got no follow-up behind him. They're busy focusing on Zayats. Toss back up the puck, right into the arms of the TV, but a song comes in, and that might have just bailed him out. Niku with BKB is the only one who's able to make a move right now, and he's being hunted down by OG. Perfectly played. They isolate the BKB target and bring him down. Now it's up to Got the Juice for all the work, and he's whittling down this Undying. It's taking so long that for the rest of the team, nice Thunder though. He gets it off onto Kadaro. Tried to finish him off. Looks like the reflection might be able to get him. Meanwhile, the Undying does go down. The puck is still low. A swap back onto the real Naga Siren there, but they don't have the juice to really go for it. Got the Juice is running out of his meta. He's probably feeling like it's time to leave. He TP's out, leaving the bench behind, and he does manage to get away, but he lost everybody else in the fight.
Man, he dealt 7,000 damage, and you killed like 1 hero and almost a Jakiro. That just felt bad, and so much of that was Zayat's getting caught on this mag. He just cannot find impact in these fights versus the Orchid plus the Puck, Silence Coil, Ice Path, Disruption. There's a lot to interrupt this Magnus when he's trying to go in. That spot didn't do him much favor in terms of the positioning. And the fact that OG already had a gem was huge in this fight. You're just able to secure vision, you're able to go in with confidence, and you can just play the back lines of these fights. The Tiny constantly has to look for this puck without wards to kind of see him. You get the toss here, but then there's not enough damage follow. He's able to survive and get the song off. So little things make a big difference here. And man, this song did work. Not only are you stalling out the kill on the puck, you just isolate this Tiny and BKB. Kind of the dream. And you just let this Undying reset his cooldowns. It takes so long to chunk through this Undying's HP. Just costs you everything here.
Yeah, I mean, he did almost what, 8,000 damage, and I feel like 5,000 of it was on the Undying. Another 1,000 on a Jakiro he didn't kill. Another 2,000 on a Puck he couldn't quite kill. I mean, those other two were rough, but that Undying was able to soak like none other. Reedy's quick pick off on him. He's got the gem recovered by his courier. Good use of that one. Good micro.
Storm putting a lot of pressure on these supports, even through the glimmers with the gem in the zone. Will be the Ags up for Niku. This is kind of where this lineup starts to scale a lot better. But you cannot contest this Roshan. OG just outpacing you right now. Butterfly already done on Shad is massive. Like, his evasion is insane when he's around all these illusions. And you have no Pierce right now.
Yeah, it's just that the tree throw is going to be all the more important. Song setup here. We haven't seen this one, but they do have really good heroes for a song setup. Undying Tombstone, Ice Path, Macropire, no Ice Path, no Jakiro here.
Found the puck.
The puck. Oh, toss up in the air, but no stuns to follow it. And got the juice is running low on HP. He needs a Sunder. Might have to use. Oh no, runs into an Ice Path. He needs a Sunder now. Can he get it up? No, denied by the Waning Rip that comes in from the puck. And that means Zayat, who's trying to help him out there, he'll die alongside the Terrorblade, as will the rest of Navi Jr. Riddies and the Tiny will manage to get out, man. Stormer. Close call, but still managed to stay alive. He had the Aegis anyway, so it was a losing engagement for Navi Jr.
They just cannot focus targets down. There's too much chaos in the fight. This mag is getting caught time and time again. We aren't seeing an RP. There's illusions to deal with. There's Tombstone to deal with. There's disruption illusions. There's Ice Pack going through. There's so much chaos.
How many times is he going to get this puck in a combo and it just will not be enough damage? Nice read by Stormer this situation. Jumps out there for the extra kill. So now Navi Jr., when the TD comes back up, they're still going to be lacking a Warlock for this high ground defense. And we've hit the window perfectly, Avery. It's 30 minutes on the dot, and OG have taken over the game.
This is Shad's time to close it out here. Nobody is contesting this Naga. He has way too much evasion right now. Completely outpaced them. You have Aegises on your other heroes to back you up in these high ground pushes. That would otherwise be the difficult part. There's a range barracks. No high ground defense for a Mag Venge Tiny lineup that can put you in the base super deep. You don't even get a single catch with it.
Oh, it's going to be just all... See, there's the Bloodthorn. Big damage upgrade for OG. And then once you start losing some of these tier 3s, you start losing some of these barracks. The Naga Siren split push and the map control you're getting, just is amplified by the fact that now the creeps are also pushing in these lanes. Navi Jr. backed into a corner. Niku caught out. Already killed. He does have buyback for the high ground defense if required. But it's going to require a good swap, maybe a good skewer to start the fight in the first place, because you still have this puck, 2.5 minutes left on this Aegis, and a shield rune to boot.
This Aegis has felt like an eternity, man. They just cannot wear through the timer, and so much gold rolling in for OG. Octarine on Undying. I mean, this guy has caused Navi Jr. so many problems this game. Not a target they can focus and not a target they can ignore. Not even trying to swap or skewer anybody in here. Just watching their base die to Naga Siren. Bad feeling.
Yeah. I mean, I think Got the Juice is making the call that he's too squishy in these fights. He needs a butterfly. They can't fight without the tiny anyway. They don't want to buy back on him, so they're going to give up the 2 lanes of barracks. You still have that tier 2 bottom, so OG are going to have to kind of reset their map here, go back, and then just push out bottom. That will give Got the Juice enough time to get this butterfly.
Naga pick has really worked out this game. And we talked about the strengths of it, but it's really looked good. The fact that you can just get so much evasion up so early in the game, like you're at 60-70% effective evasion in the fights with all these illusions around you, wheel skip plus the butterfly. You have all this physical damage on the side of Navi Jr. and you can't hit this guy. You're just stuck here missing on illusions because none of these heroes can get MKB or Bloodthorn up that fast. Like none of them want to build it that naturally. The tiny, he needs this Ags Daedalus. The Terrorblade maybe could have gone for it, but he's dying too fast in the fights. Venge is not a natural MKB / Bloodthorn buyer either. You're gonna look for it now on PMA, but so much damage has already been done.
Yeah.
This Naga's timing was just crazy good. They're 1 racks away from probably closing this game out on the back of Megas.
It is where this lineup is the most dangerous in some regards from Navi Jr. That high ground defense. We haven't seen one of those swaps or skewers back underneath the tier 3, tier 4s even, but that final push. Here still has an option. 21,000 net worth lead for OG. Being this far up when it comes to lanes means you're not as limited by the timer, right? That 40-minute scary point where Navi Jr.'s lineup really becomes overwhelming.
They might find the Naga.
They got it. Fantastic. An avalanche on 2, an RP locking up both of them, and there goes the tree tosses. They finish them both off. They do everything they had because they knew they hit the jackpot. They found the enemy carry. They found the Naga Siren, and they are willing to invest everything they had to bring her down.
What an angle on that fight. Not a fight OG expected at all. They're probably looking at what are they going to do in the base defense. Let's hold like a Roche sort of position in that river, and this is not a spot where usually you're going to get smoked on. Man, they just find the exact angle they want and the exact target they want in this Naga Siren. And every time you find him, you instantly blow everything. Like the only thing that can bail Shad out here is a disruption from the SD, and he's just too far away. Even if you disrupt him here, he probably dies out of it. Like the damage is insane. Once you can isolate that hero, no illusions around him, you take away a lot of that evasion. Just the dream scenario, honestly.
Yeah.
Big pickup. That buys you a lot more time in this game to try and get your big counter evasion items online or reset the map a little bit. You got a gem back out of that as well, I believe. There's one on the Warlock now, so you're going to get some extra dewarding.
Ags done for the puck. Naga Siren is still the #1 focus, but his damage is beginning to ramp up. He's got the Octarine, Ags, Parasma. Now he can start putting some more into the right-click damage, and
he's a problem. And this is where the puck is just too tanky for the tiny to combo kill, so you need like combo into some of their stun. That's pretty difficult.
Now, it's going to be still a map fully controlled by OG. Likely going to be able to get the Roshan. Navi Jr. going to have to play for, smoke contest most likely. But that's going to be pretty easily read. If OG play it correctly enough around the map, I feel like Roshan's likely theirs. Aghanim Scepter for Zayats. He's had a hard time getting some skewers back, but maybe that will help with the horn toss.
Yeah, I wonder how good of a horn toss game this is, to be honest.
Yeah.
Feels pretty hard for them to get in there. I feel like BKB might have just been the better choice this game. So you can guarantee you get spells off against the Orchid and the Puck Silence and all of this. Like, there's nothing that stops BKB on the side of OG, so they're really strong. We saw one just picked up for the Terrorblade. You have BKB in all 3 cores. Like, this horn toss is great when you can use it. I just don't think this is the game where you're going to get that impact. We'll see what he can find with it. That said, the next set of items for Navi Jr. are the real blockbuster ones, because you have all your BKBs, you're going to finish Daedalus on the Tiny. Now you're looking for the Evasion Pierce. You're looking for the Bloodthorn and the MKB on the Tearblade and the Venge.
Dire's bottom
That will negate a lot of this Naga Siren's impact. Not just illusions around the map, but manning up in the team fight becomes a lot harder. This is a critical juncture for OG. You need to win this next Roshan, and I think you need to try and end the game with that. I don't think you want to go a lot later than this, even with the lead you have. It's not often we see Naga win these ultra late game battles. Like, it's not the carry that just mans up at 60 minutes and takes it to a lot of other heroes the way Dota works right now. So to me, this is their time to close this one out. You have a lead. You're really favored around this Roshan pit with Song, Tombstone, Macro. This is your Aegis to get. You can put it on the puck. You can put it on the Naga, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And then try and end the game by going bottom for that Megas.
Outworld staff is instant, right?
bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Just like just like phase shift, he can dodge in the middle of avalanche, right?
Yes.
I think that's how that works. It may not matter just because it's such a short timer, but I'm just trying to think if it's going to be able to bail him out.
We'll look for it. There's a Scotty done for the Naga. That's, I mean, this is where you're peaking. Like, you have so much HP to work with. Really obnoxious, but there's MKB for the Venge.
Wow.
PMA buys out for it. He's pretty farm. They're gonna smoke, try and contest this Roche. Really difficult contest. They are all in on this. No buybacks on almost any of these heroes.
Yeah. The Naga Siren Illusions are already scouting out. They probably have a good idea that Navi Jr. is smoked. But do they know where the jump is going to be from? It's coming in from the side. Almost got the Shadow Demon. He managed Outworld Staff and then self-disrupt, and Shad pops the song to bail out his Shadow Demon. They're not going to have the best setup for this. But then Nico goes in. He goes in to grab the Aegis. He managed to get it. He got
what a
Roshan
kick at Chad.
Aegis. And now he managed to throw out a couple of trees. Doesn't do too much damage. But what does it matter if you get the Aegis? You lose the fight. Nice RP. If they lock down the puck, they got him. Got the juice. Finish him off. There's no buyback there. Got the juice. Swinging on these illusions. Trying to clear him out. There's a bunch of mess. Disruption goes out. Toss the Undying back into the tomb. That is perfect. But he does take a ton of damage to the Undying. Ultimately dying out in the end. Shad. He clears out at least one through this one. Almost dealing with the Venge illusion there as well. Chasing out to the TV, and he's got him inside the ensnare. Oh, he popped the Manta a little bit too early, and he doesn't have a Sunder to bail himself out, or he couldn't get a Sunder off on a healthy target. Ends up going down. So yeah, they win the fight, or they win the initial go there for the Roshan and get the Aegis. A sick move, but they lose out on the fight overall.
Nobody checked this Naga Siren in that fight. Ends up just carrying it through in the end. And I honestly felt like that was going better for Navi Jr. Like, you get the puck with the Orchid reveal on the Terrorblade, you're able to bring that hero down. You had to go through Cheese and Ceaseless Dirge on the Undying. That's a lot. And honestly, Pyrrhic Cloak. Like, Mixa, he killed this Tiny with Pyrrhic Cloak. Almost 2,000 damage reflecting back into him. That is what brought Niku down the second time. It was a sick Aegis snatch, but man, that neutral item is just straight nasty sometimes. And it really caught him off guard there.
It's just a funny watch. Just somebody just get 100-0 by that fact. PMA swap back on his Shad. The real Naga Siren is right in the mix. They get the horn toss, but not the skewer back. A melee form TV is trying to bring him down. They've got him slowed down underneath the muck. This Warlock is getting a full swing of things. Tombstone in, trying to save him. Shad. He pops the illusion, turns back around. The TV. Can he get off a Sunder? He gets it off. What's on illusion? He barely recovers any HP, but maybe it's going to be enough with this butterfly trying to get away. Bull Shad and got the juice walking away, but it's the Undying who's the bigger menace here. He sticks onto him. Another Sunder going off. That's going to help out. Got the juice. He heals up a decent amount and is trying to finish off this
guy's too
Undying.
big.
But what about the throne, man? This Undying just took on a TV and he wins the fight. He's got goddamn
like
menace.
10k HP. He's so big. Oh my god.
Turning into Lena, I think, is kind of whatever. Throw out a couple spells, but I don't actually feel like his morph is that strong for this game.
You forgot the best one, Austin.
Yeah, what's that?
The Jakiro. You get the double attack. It's just
Oh,
straight
of course,
nasty.
Of course. Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
forgot
actually
about
not
that
kidding.
one.
I've had people do this to me in pubs, and
Really?
it is surprisingly annoying. Like, legitimately
Okay.
surprisingly annoying. Now,
Well, you said
you
annoying,
also get,
not good. You said annoying.
but it's like, I feel like it's a good backup option, right? When you're in these games where there
Okay.
isn't some clear target, you can actually steal this guy. And don't forget, like, Stolen Ice Path is always a pretty good spell. So it's like you're like a mini Rubik, and then you just throw out these double hits. It's not bad. It's not bad. You're gonna laugh at it, but it is legitimately not the worst option when it comes down to it.
All right, all right. I believe you. We'll see what Navi Jr. choose to do with this Morphling and where they choose to go with this smoke. Doing a long wrap around here, but they are going to get spotted as soon as this smoke expires because OG left themselves a defensive high ground ward here.
So they get caught off guard.
Yeah, they're setting up for the... because usually there's only one or two people here playing for this ward. They're spotted on the ward. There it is. And Shad, he's not sure if he wants to commit to try and get this. He decides, okay, not the case, but he's still going to be caught. Daggered up, stomped up,
pretty
shackled,
awkward.
Lots of damage. Got him on the blood grenade as well. That's a first blood. And Zion will be the one to claim the kill.
That was so greedy, man. Like, you dodged the gank with the ward, and then you just went back in anyway. You didn't even get it. Rough stuff. First blood to the Shaman. We'll see what Zads can do with that. Probably would have rather had it on the
2-2 bounty split, so they got the better of OG in entirety.
Okay, so we'll start for them. They're going to need that because these lanes do not look easy. I think the Centaur lane should be the best for them, but this mid looks tough with the melee hero up against the Lina. And the Morphling lane is not free by any means. I can absolutely see Ridis die a couple times down here with a disruption on the side into the hammer.
And we might see that soon. Disrupted pretty far out here. Mixa levels up. Oh, because they got that kill earlier, he had the whoopee cushion, and he gets away from the Starbreaker hits. All right. Well played.
That is a lucky first blood whoopee cushion right there. You're absolutely dead. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't really play up on the side as much as you would want in this lane normally, because the all-in threat off the disruption with some body blocks is crazy good with this combination. So you kind of just have to play the lane straight up, and that means no solo XP for Morphling, probably limited pull capacity, because every time you try and free up that pull, SD can threaten you on the side, the Dawnbreaker can lean over. This should be a good lane for OG in terms of what Mixa can get off of it.
Dawnbreaker's always a scary hero to get that kind of freebie. Shad taking a lot of damage here. PMA tries to finish him off. 5 HP, ticks out. And now they'll turn on to Kadaro. They've got 5 seconds left for a stomp. Yeah, it looks like he's probably just gonna dead. They could stay on top of a melee range pretty easily. And the stomp may not even... Okay, got juked out in the trees. That was a one-way intersection, and PMA accidentally went the roundabout way. Unfortunately.
Well, that should have been a kill. They miss it. But should be able to get the Lotus here, pushing the lane. And of course, you got Shad anyway, so you're happy with that. Really strong lane start here from Navi Jr. Outside of the mid, of course, but you know, what can you do there? It's a last pick Lina. That's just life sometimes. At least you didn't get Viper.
Timbersaw can probably weather the storm, right?
Yeah, he's doing fine. Zero can always do some stacks too if you're a little behind. Like,
Sure.
It's not the worst case scenario considering what could have happened on that mid cheese pick.
Good to know that No Tail has taught the team how to use those voice lines. Kadaro actually does get the Lotus. The lane did not actually push in at the right time for Navi Jr. secure Lotuses, so OG get double Lotuses on side lanes.
That's pretty big here, especially when you're falling a little behind in the regen trade.
Sneaky move from Nico. Doing a little pull action from the mid lane.
The old Eternal Envy. Nice lane matchup. It'd be a shame if I never saw you again.
Yeah. And
we lost one of the creeps. What?
Oh, no.
How did that not get aggro? That was ridiculous, actually.
And where is he going with this aggro?
He's going to pull to the camp, farm it up.
I guess. It's just Shad. He's got the dissimulate. He will be able to get it off. He'll survive, but a little bit worse for wear. Being fed some tangos behind the Chikiro, but I'm happy with this lane, that's for sure.
Yeah, straight into the water rune. I mean, this is pretty efficient for the Timber overall. The tip comes out as well. Did lose some creeps under the tower, but made up for it with the neutral camp. Getting out of these lanes. in a solid position, I would say.
I think the funniest thing about Timbersaw when he does the pulling on the mid lane, he's not only is he not taking damage from Lina, but he's recovering HP because of his passive with a reactive armor, right? He's just tanking creeps, and then he gets a bunch of armor, and regen will actually go up in HP as a result.
Oh, he's completely even with Stormstormer here, so very good outcome for Niku as he gets out of this lane.
And it seems like the Morphlings doing all right against that Dawnbreaker lane. 25-3 compared to 20-4. So, yeah.
I think Morphling always farms, right? Like, who have we seen shut down Morphling in the last 3 or 4 months? It just doesn't seem possible.
A lot of the ranged offlaners are just not really meta that are better against the Morphlings. So
you need like Enigma or something, and no one's playing this except Pari Vision, I guess.
Yeah, where did that hero go? Why is it always only the tier 1 teams that are willing to play it?
Probably just goes in cycles. It can be a difficult hero to execute now because you need to kind of play fast, take towers, use the drum timing, use an early aura timing. You have to know how to play the lane really well with the 4 as well. It's not super straightforward, even though it can be really strong. I mean, it's not Centaur, you know. I play Centaur, I walk up, I stomp you. The good stuff happens.
No, that's true. Centaur is easy mode offlane for sure.
That's why Sunsfan plays it.
That's true. 6-minute power rune. Riddy's set it up for it. Oh. And it ends up being top. Zayats will try and hold it for the Timbersaw. And it looks like Stormstormer's not going to go to contest. So that's a good rune for a Timbersaw to make a move on one of these side lanes. I don't know if they're going to try and go for the Lina kill, but they're leaving their off lane high and dry. PMA is left alone for so long here as Zayats continues to try and set up on the Lina.
See, Stormstormer feels this one out. Heroes have been on the map for a long time. Starting to get suspicious.
Yeah, he's just not playing in the lane whatsoever.
Wise move. He would have died 100%, so he will dodge this move out. Still have the haster on the Timber to contest the Wisdom Shrine if you really want to force it behind the tower here.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Zayats
and Kadaro are going to go into a little battle here in the jungle, and they're going to pull the Timbersaw over here. So he's making his run. Kadaro is just going to die here.
Someone was going to die to this haste. That felt inevitable. I think you'd rather die with Jakiro than lose your Wisdom Shrine or something. So it's not the worst outcome overall.
For sure.
But it is putting some pressure on this mid lane, forced to lean into the jungle. Pretty nice start for Niku overall. He's very happy on this Timber. Any stacks for OG? I had a couple, but not nearly the same as last game, I think, for Days. Probably doesn't have the greatest heroes to clear it either compared to the previous game, so probably just not prioritizing as much, which is fair. This Timber can also get in here and steal some stuff.
NAVI Jr. also isn't really stacking, so it's fair enough. Days will still have that slight economic advantage because he's stacking more than no times, so.
Gets another power room. Yes, Timber is getting a lot here. Really just abandoned this mid lane. And straight into stealing the ancient staff. Oh boy, that is
great.
That is not what Days wanted out of all this time
Centaur
investment.
again, he's playing this off lane solo, but now he got his level 6, so he's able to stampede away from the threat while his team continues to play around the Timbersaw, and it does pay out. What's the point of doing stacks if you could just take the enemy stacks?
That is always a better option. This Timber he's had himself a really strong early game. I did not expect it to be this good, but some of the wave pulling, got the power runes. They did kind of tri-lane mid effectively. They sent both supports there twice. It's a heavy investment. They really want Niku to pay it back in this game. They want the Timber to be big and bad, taking over the fights, taking over the map. You can get a couple hits in on this tower with the amp damage. That feels pretty damn good. And
But
it is keeping the Lina off the lane.
Too sad about the situation, right? Lina hasn't been ganked, and has been able to farm up to that boots of travel. So we're just going to pick up more and more farm efficiency. It's going to be hard for the Timbersaw to keep up in that regard. And OG are getting a good amount out of their sidelines.
They're definitely not sad at all. I think Lena would prefer to have gotten a little more out of the lane or been able to go back to it a couple times, but you'd rather not die than be too greedy here. Oh, Daze shows
Daze
and
going for the punish here. Shadow Shaman, there's the tri-lane mid. It continues. It doesn't matter if the Lena's there or not. They'll kill whoever does show up.
Happy to just keep sitting here. The tips keep going through. Nico's like, anybody who shows up here, I'm going to take you down, but it's not as if you are demolishing this early game. Your Centaur had a rough
Bring
time.
the Void Spirit to the power runes and will not get the rune, but they will get Zayas.
Ooh, man, the troll did not kill him because he had the little brief invincibility. That's sad.
It was a close call.
Now Stormstormer gets to steal a couple stacks here. Got to keep this boots of travel in mind on the Lena. You can join any of these side lane plays against the Centaur or the Morph lane if you get some setup on them.
Yeah.
Shield rune for Niku. Gets the third power rune in this game. He's gotten all three. Can definitely try and use this just to take mid tower. Not the best rune for aggressively rotating. So you're probably not looking at Shad too much up here, who died early but is pretty much free from his top lane after that.
Now they're going to go for the kill on PMA. He's got Stampede, though. If he wants to pop it, with Zayas actually hitting the Hex onto Lena, that'll stop all the aggression from OG. So didn't even have to use the Stampede. Shad threatening to go back in with the Astral Step. That was a TP was canceled there from Navi Jr., so maybe OG feeling like they can just go for it, but Radius is joining them. It got some setup here. They can hit a good Wheel of Wonder.
Could be nasty.
Especially since they took that mid tower. Like, the mid tower was taken by the Timbersaw. He's freed up. He is coming to this top lane. It's time for OG to retreat.
Do not want to fight into these strongholds early here. Yours are just not as good right now in the true 4-4, 5-on-5. It'll be the wards drop
too because they got the wards. They'll use that to kill Kadaro here. Being wheeled out by the Dawnbreaker ultimate.
Oh, what a wheel!
Is perfectly placed. The Dawnbreaker comes right into that, and it got the Shadow Demon as well. So they'll pick up 3 off a beautiful wheel from Riddies. He played it patient, and he found his opening.
Absolutely destroyed them. That Solar Guardian can maybe turn some of these overextensions, but not going into wards, into wheel, into stomp. I am surprised OG decided to take that. Like, into all these ults this early, your Macro Pyre Purge are not matching wheel wards right now. It's just not even close. You get massively punished there as Niku continues to just pull waves, farm up. This Timbersaw is... It's got 500 GPM already. We're 12 minutes in. This is a massive net worth swing in this game. If he finds a couple more kills or a couple more team fights that go his way, he has a decent chance to just take this game.
Oh, Shad. He almost got caught before that dissimulate by a Hex there. Nico cleared out all the trees, and it gave Shadow Shaman an opportunity. I think he was just a little too far away to hit the Hex, but close call. Nico is only just going to ramp up the aggression because he kind of owns this lane, so expect that safe lane to be starting to fall, but he's also going to get Blink Daggers soon. So even more. As PMA covers the mid tower, Stormstormer is just trying to play away from the Timbersaw as much as possible and put pressure on whatever lane that is. So the Timbersaw is not mid. He's going to hit that mid tower, try and take it out.
This is a lot of towers down for OG early compared to what they got last game, and not getting anything in return here. All 3 tier 1s still up for Navi Jr. You gotta expect this Morph lane to hold this bottom lane for a while too. Like, he's just been sitting down here with Vlad's impenetrable force unless you somehow stun him from a tree line or bring a lot of heroes to just overwhelm him. You did finish Vessel on Shad, but the problem is he has no charges. So he needs something to happen right now to activate this item. And instead it's Navi Jr. making the play. Straight into the Ancients again. They're looking for anybody.
14-minute Wisdom Rune is coming up as well if they're fast enough on the Timbersaw, but nah. I was going to say, maybe Timber Chains and he can get there in time, but They do not barrel down. Instead, they just drop the wards, kill the offlane tower. And that'll be all the tier 1s gone by 14 minutes. How fast was OG in game 1 on all the tier 1s?
They were a little faster.
Yeah, it was like 12 minutes or
12
something.
or something, yeah. I think the Naga, because the Naga was contesting those wisdom shrines at 14 plus pretty early.
Yeah.
Very similar though. Very similar looking game. And now Navi Jr. just going to try and hold more of the map right now. Park the Morphling on enemy ancients. Continue to farm their own with the Timber. Very efficient right now if OG cannot find an opening. And you still need the vessel charges for Shad here. This is a lot of missing net worth from your safe lane carry. It's just not doing anything right now. It's not helping you farm. You need to go look for kills. You need to smoke and find something right now. Instead, you're the one getting found.
Yeah, Navi Jr. finding all the pickoffs here as they catch Storm in the top lane. Niku takes his time with that kill.
Regen Rune's going to push him right back up here. Having himself a game. I mean, that is for sure. This Timber's, he's a beast right now. Vessel is also something that could help shut him down. It's a good Vessel game, but the problem is it feels like you can't kill anybody without the Vessel, and therefore you can't get the Vessel charges to kill somebody.
What comes first, the chicken or the egg? Is that the kind of situation we're in here?
I mean, I think it's time to just like go suicide somewhere to get the first charge.
yeah, that's what it's required. Well, they might just be suiciding. They might be suiciding into the Timber Saw. It's a 3-man smoke up to the Timber, and he's not going to be an easy target to bring down. The Dawnbreaker, it's a 4th hero, and he got away with the Timber Chain. No. A vast overcommitment from OG, or maybe the right kind of commitment to take on a Timber Saw, but they don't get the initial catch required.
That Remnant, I don't know how that Remnant didn't hit, to be honest. Looked like he was in it, but Timber Chain is a hell of a spell. I mean, this thing's always been busted.
And look at him. Now they're desperate for that kill. Now they're looking at PMA. Another Remnant missed it. He doesn't have Stampede. He would have been caught if that Remnant landed. But now the turnaround Science is here. He's catching Kadaro. PMA walks back into him. Elfin trying to get that kill on Jakiro. Looks like Day's going to be caught by Niku, so both supports cornered and killed. Now OG are really feeling it. I mean, you made the massive smoke move. You whiff on that one. You run all your heroes back to the other side of the map, and not only do you not get the kill, you fail the initiation, but you give up kills in the process.
These cores are just so tanky so early in this game. They don't have enough damage to bring anybody down and get the ball rolling. This build up for the Void Spirits backfired. The Lina still trying to just progress is scaling itemization here, but has fallen a little bit behind, and this support duo has found nothing for OG in this game. Like, you have macro plus a level 4 disseminate. That's the majority of your damage right now, but your initiation is causing you issues. If you can't land this Remnant, how do you start on anybody in this game? A lot of pressure on Shad right now to try and bring this game back, or I guess you can just keep ratting with the Storm Lina, rely on him to carry. He is doing fine in terms of the levels. Little behind the Timber, but not by much. Could go down again, though.
They got a scan, but the Stormstormer doesn't respect it. He had his team coming in. He thought they would get there before Navi Jr. does, but instead he dies 100-0. And now this move that came out, the Jakiro and Shad, the Void Spirit, they were showing up to the fight. Oh, what a snap! He got him perfectly right as the Astral stepped in. The Dawnbreaker ultimate is going to bail them out, though. It's a reset here on the side of OG. But PMA, he's coming in. He doesn't have Stampede. He doesn't have Blink Dagger, so he can't really stop OG from retreating here.
I think Navi Jr. take that fight if they have mana on Niku. That's the biggest thing holding them back. He's killed so many people. He just doesn't have the resources to keep killing them. He's got to go to base, refill. He is going to have an entire BKB soon here, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, that is ridiculous. This Timber's about to have BKB after Blink Kaya before Shad gets a single vessel charge. Like,
and PMA has pipe, so you're looking at pretty unkillable heroes at this point. You pull him into the that would I thought that Remnant, if it wasn't for the batch, I think he pulls him into the Serpent Ward AoE.
That would have been nice.
But Navi Jr., I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. They're continuing
to
play.
Him.
He did, but there's an opening now.
BKB done for the Timbers. They're ready to take this fight. Yeah, they're just gonna smoke it up. Like, no reason to let OG go into you. We're just gonna jump your ass and
I don't
see who
even
they can
think
find.
they're a lineup that wants to do Roshan per se. I think this Roshan is just a way to facilitate that they get a team fight out of it, and they found exactly that with the smoke up. They catch OG lurking on the side near the pit, and they'll bring down 2 rather quickly.
That is too easy, man. This game is way too easy for NAVI Jr. right now. They're just running at whoever they want. Jumps from the shaman, no turnaround potential. This has to be one of the sadder Spirit Vessel games I've ever seen. Like,
Yes.
are we ever
So
going to get a
sad.
charge?
Oh my god.
This is just completely backfired in terms of the game plan here. And as NAVI Jr. played this early game way too damn well. They did the old tri-lane mid, man. It's a Western European classic. Caught OG off guard. They did not respond accordingly, and his Timber got out of control. Now look at him.
This Timber is picking heroes off one after the other around the map. Really stops the TP away, so Niku can claim yet another kill. Still stuck on 2 kills. Last one they got was the Shadow Shaman at 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes since they found something, and it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. Shad has his TP canceled. Now his team is not really in a position, NAVI Jr. that is, to punish him, so it will still be able to walk away, but still feels pretty bad on the map. He's just walking across the map, not really doing anything. Days, I mean, everywhere they're getting picked apart. It's every lane there is a threat.
Nowhere safe on this map anymore. No one can hold their own. That's the problem. The Lina can get some of the lanes out, but nobody else really wants to show right now. There's a free shard for the Ringmaster, and this will pick up as well. Blink for the Centaur. Everything's coming online here. I'll tell you one thing. If this goes to game 3, which it looks like it will right now, the priority on this Timber Saw is going to go up. Because you know OG likes it. And now Niku has just destroyed this game. He basically didn't even lane burst the Lina, right? He just kind of neutralized it. That's pretty scary. And his hero might just get first picked or first banned.
For those of you guys who haven't watched some of the OG games previously, they really like the Void Spirit and the Timber Saw. They drafted a lot in their games, and this NAVI Jr., they stole away the Timber Saw in the draft here for game 2, which is a bold play when you're already down a game, but it has worked out beautifully for them.
I mean,
6
it is a
Timber Saw
Niku
picks,
signature.
Won 4 of them.
So they are very confident with the hero. I think it's just a pick that OG did not expect.
Yeah.
And they're feeling the pain right now.
And look at the pressure, man. Got the juice. Is going to hit high ground. He still has 3 minutes left on it. Oh, jump in. We got the Jakiro. He tries to just clear out the creep wave, but instead he gets picked off alongside Daze. Now both supports are dead, and the tower at half HP with Serpent Ward still up. And I don't think there's any reason to back up. None of the OG cores have shown themselves. Well, I guess, never mind. Mixa already cut the wave, so I'll have to just hit mid tower instead.
I mean, that's a Rax if you don't get that wave cut. The heads up play cutting it there. But it feels like you're just stemming the bleeding very briefly here. As there's still 2 minutes on this Aegis for the Morphling. They're just going to go back top, get the wave in mid. Head straight back for this top barracks. Why not? No glyph. This is a dead Rax if you don't take the fight.
Where's the morph into the Jakiro? Let me see it.
He doesn't want
it. And they're just gonna kill the Jakiro. Got the juice. He'll tank up a Laguna Blade. No problem. Dawnbreaker drops the ultimate. NAVI Jr. just casually walk out of the AoE. No problem.
Well, you got everybody back here. You got a tier 3. You can chill. You can heal. You're gaining a massive net worth lead off this period. No reason to overforce the hand and give Shad the Spirit Vessel charge.
True.
Still doesn't have.
Still a worthless item. It just.
Oh my god.
He would have been better to just rush Aghanim Scepters, seemingly.
It would have been better with Midas or anything at this point.
True. Rough time.
I'm telling you, he should have just died. He should have just died somewhere, and at least then he would have had it to try and make a play.
Yeah, but I don't think I've seen a play yet where I was like, oh, the Spirit Vessel would have made the difference there, you know?
That is also probably true.
And the scary part is Navi Junior. They're going to get stronger. They've got big items coming up, right? Because the Timber Saw, he opted for this early BKB, which means he still doesn't have his Aghanim Scepter, which is another source of tankability, but also damage for this hero. And PMA, he almost has his Shivas. He's working toward it pretty quickly. And obviously the Morphling is just going to scale up and up and up. He's trying to get a Scani next item, so... But it's just the other cores are still going to reach higher peaks on their heroes.
They're taking 2 lanes at once right here. This is...
Yeah.
You have an amp damage on the Void Spirit. You got to do something here. If you are OG, and the Ags will be done for Shad. This is kind of it. This is your last chance to try and hold this game with this item timing. You have BKBs on the other cores. And just like that, they're gone.
Aegis. I think you got to smoke out soon. They buy one on Kadaro. Sure. You got to make a play soon before these next round of items come in.
Got to go now. You got to place some wards out on the map. Look for anything. Try and just find a core target that you can chain stun and bring down with the burst damage. Not easy into Stampede, but your options are very limited, and Ags on the Timber makes them even more limited here.
Radiant are scanning.
You also always have that escape act to throw in, so... Honestly, if Navi Junior information, it's hard to see a way they lose the fight right now.
Timberzon jumps in. Oh no, Shad jumped in after him, but he was too quick with it. Blinks out of there. And OG still have yet to deal with this Morphling. Manta's off the first silence here from Shad. Melee Barracks. It's falling pretty quick.
Giving him the old aggressive chain. That's the real BM on this hero.
He's giving him the pudge chain. He's hooking him out of the base. And there goes that high ground ward that OG was trying to play around. Both high ground wards they are trying to play around, so now they're blind on the map.
From bad to worse in this game, man. Nothing has gone. 2 kills, man. That's ridiculous. They've gotten nothing. We got a Shaman once and a Centaur once at the 5-minute mark. Sad times in this game, too, for OG. Nice response from Navi Junior, though. Showed up here, not going down easy. And this could be the first loss for OG. Gotta remember, they haven't lost yet.
That's true, and you said you would much rather, as a player in a team, take that loss on your way through the bracket, not experience that loss for the first time on the most important game.
100%. I'd rather be weathered than untested, as one might put it. Scotty Dunn forgot the juice. It's a game ender right here if you get a team fight out of it. OG just refusing to leave the base, but clock is ticking.
So the Aghanim Scepter is done for the Timbersaw. PMA just needs another 900 gold, and he will have that Shiva's. And the Scotty is done for Got the Juice. So they kind of have everything. Zayat's with an Ether Lens on top of his 4-stat Blink Dagger. Boy, he's farmed. And Riddy's even more farmed to him. Oop! Not the best blink, but he still managed to turn around and get the hex. Now they're going to chain him up here. The Dawnbreaker ultimate and the save from the disruption. Might just bail out Shad. Needs to get out of the Serpent Wards with the Dissimulate. Goats Axe and the Shadow Shaman. Meanwhile, Stormstormer took half the amount of damage.
Kill anything.
He's being stampeded upon, and the BKB is going to wear thin. He's going to get Chakram down. Brought low by the Centaur, and Niku just, he works him, man. GG is called, and it's damn near closest you can get to a shutout. 21-2.
Oh, yeah. That is a brutal beatdown. They got their comfort picks. They have a lineup that functions really well together and a lineup that can absolutely snowball this game. But I don't think it's a clear draft one. I think Navi Junior have a lot of tools to fight back. They have a lot of early skirmish power, and this last pick, Ember, could be absolutely nasty. It is another level 30 hero for Nico. He is super qualified on it, plays well with the team on this hero, combines well with the supports here. Again, like, you just look at the little combinations. You get slight chains into Dagger, Whip, Napalm, Flame Break. That's enough to annoy anybody in this game. So I have some faith this Ember, especially with Mage Slayer. Like, we didn't talk about that, but Mage Slayer in this game is incredibly good against OG.
Oh yeah.
That is a
Oh yeah.
very tough item to deal with. And this is where I go back to the 3 cores overlapping, right? They're all spellcasters. Yeah, Timber does pure damage, but they're all spell damage based, which means this Mage Slayer for Ember it's going to be amazing this game. Like, you get the Mage Slayer hit on anybody in this lineup, you're feeling good. So I like this Ember pick for that reason too. He was one of the last heroes in that draft that could have built this item and used it reliably, and it's going to be amazing here.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't think about that, because when I was thinking about the Void Spirit Timber Saw cores that they really like, I was like, it's pretty interesting because you have a broad range of damage, right? Void Spirit does physical damage and magic damage, and then you've got this Timber Saw doing a bunch of pure damage. So you kind of have all 3 elements, but it is ultimately all spell damage, meaning Mage Slayer. There aren't many items in the game that are help you out against this, but Mage Slayer will be extra effective because you draft that to a duo, and if you opt for a safe lane Void Spirit, then you're pretty much guaranteed to be heavily reliant on magic damage, because what mids are not magic damage, you know?
Exactly. This is the one downside of this draft for OG, and this Ember pick is going to try and exploit it in a very smart way. So if Niku has a big game again, I think Navi Jr. are going to pull this out. But of course, everything's on the line. The pressure is as high as it gets. We'll see if OG can bounce back with their signature lineup so far in this qualifiers.
Stormer manages to sneak that one away from Niku. So that's going to be 3 bounty rune. Good start for Stormer. That'll be a faster bundle for him in this matchup, where he's going to get slided quite a lot, and it's not super fun for the puck in that regard.
All eyes on mid here. I think Stormer doesn't have to win this lane, but he cannot let Niku destroy it. Like, you just have to keep this Ember in check, and honestly, you're going to be happy.
Can we also expect NAS support rotations into mid lane to enable these mid laners on both sides, perhaps?
It is sometimes difficult to rotate into the puck because it seems daunting to pressure him, but if I'm Navi Jr., I absolutely think about it if the Ember gets the puck low, which is not difficult to do. Or just stealing a water rune away, something like this. I would prioritize helping mid over winning the side lanes a little more if I'm Navi Jr., and as OG, you kind of have to understand that and respond accordingly if they decide to pull that trialing mid out again.
Especially for that Navi Junior safe lane, right? Because it's, gyro lanes are super good at just flat canning pushing in the lane, and that can free up the support as it bounces off the tower. The support can go ahead and roam.
Absolutely, especially if you have that camp opened up. Could happen down the road. Do have to worry about Timber Saw, like, just killing your carry a little bit, but outside of that, you're mostly chilling down here.
I think the Navi Junior off lane is the one that I have most questions about. It's a Bat Rider Pango against a Void Spirit and a Disruptor. So OG, I mean, no slouches in the laning phase for these 2 heroes.
Let's just hope he doesn't go Vessel again, because that did not work out.
Wow.
Looks like
did not get there in time to block the easy camp.
Could be a Mage Slayer for this Void Spirit too, which is not a bad Mage Slayer game for them as well. I think Slight plus Flak Cannon play well around it, but those Slight plus Flak are not heavy physical burst spells. They're just kind of physical damage over time and spread around the team. So yeah, I don't think OG care as much about that. Mage Slayer seems like a solid option here. What is happening here, man? This is
it's a mess, all right. I'm not sure.
This cannot be good for Stormer in the end, like, because he's the one who got forced off the lane. So maybe it will work out, and Niku lets him back. Yeah, he has a double wave on him. Pretty awkward.
Yeah, Niku also missed. I think a range creep ended up going into the tower, so he missed out on that.
But there's no bottle charges left for Stormer. He kind of got out regened here. He's doing fine though. I'm sure he'll figure it out.
As he has almost every single game that OG has played in this qualifier. I mean, shout Shout out just in the first place for getting to this spot. I was not convinced that this OG roster was ever going to be able to come together in time, but it seems like they managed to figure things out just at the right time.
Yeah, they were almost in that dangerous range of becoming a meme, you know. But this roster's looked quite good.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the player synergy's been really high. The drafts have been on point. They play with some confidence.
Where NAVI Junior, I feel like it's almost the opposite, where it's been they've consistently gotten better and better throughout the year. If you look through their Liquipedia, it's pretty much just like top sixes to maybe some top fours at a lot of online tournaments and qualifiers, and then the last little sprint. Stormstormer gonna die here. Okay, they just take a dangerous territory away from him.
I would agree. I think Navi Junior have definitely ramped up. I think they've become a lot more respected. I think at the start, people were like, yeah, this team, they have some promising players, but I'm not scared of the roster. Now you kind of have to be scared of this roster.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're showing why. One game away.
Yeah, the only real concern you would have for Navi Junior is that they didn't really show up at Dream League the way that I think some people thought. I thought that they were a team that would probably get into the second phase, the second group stage, right?
That's fair. Still a young team, I guess, in some regards. And, of course, doing well in these qualifiers is very different than playing against the best teams in the world.
For sure.
It's a very different task. This game, very even across the board. The one hero suffering is kind of Mixa on this Timbersaw. He's having a tough time staying in the lane against the Gyro Ringmaster damage. That's a lot of early spell damage to contest with. And, yeah, we are seeing some stacks come out, as the first rotation in the mid will be the Tusk. Trying to maybe get some cheeky kill on this Ember before he's 6. And he is out of bottle charges, so if you want to find the opening, it's there right now. But Nico knows, man.
This could be a make or break situation, right? Like, you try too hard for this kill, you give the Ember Spirit a kill under tower, he gets 6, maybe you lose both heroes. And they do not find that opening, nor do they force it. Nico just naturally gets his level 6 and gives the tip over to Daze. He knew exactly what was coming his way. And Daze is so convinced that there was a ward on him, but no, I think it was just a good call from the safe lane.
That's a value tip. It made him second guess everything right there.
That's right. Kadaro, he's going to be caught as he has stacked up the sticky napalm charges.
First blood.
And will they get the power rune? It is going to be bottom here. Maybe Riddies can get a deny. Oh, he got it barely.
Wow.
But it looks like he's going to give up the kill for it, as he's going to be blocked in by the shards, no problem. Phase shift to dodge the whip. Still, though, Stormstormer a little bit low. He's got coil, he's got orb. He'll jump to it and teleport out.
That's like almost worth it. You got coil out of him, and you got the shield rune deny. You also got the D ward on mid. It's like, that's a close to okay trade, but first one going to Nico is huge here.
Yep, and another tip to Daze.
Yeah, he's putting in the mental damage right now. So a small setback for OG on mid as the Ember and the Gyro pull ahead a little bit here. Looking for Wisdom Shrines, just gonna get split here, no contest really.
Navi Junior slight lead off of this laning phase. Wisdom Shrine's going to be traded out, but there is a bit more stacking on the side of Navi Junior. I think there was only one stack that was done by OG, while we see this double triangle getting stacked up 3 different times by Zayats.
2 for the Tusk on that big camp. That's about it. But yeah, this Bat Rider's about to get some juicy farm injection right here.
Yeah.
You think it's going to go to the Gyro? No. I'm the real Gyro.
I think that is more than fair. Later stacks can go to the Gyro, but Bat Rider needs to actually have a game. This is a little bit of a greedier support. You always hate to see a Bat Rider who gets shut down and just can't ever get to his Blink Dagger. That feels really bad.
As Niku comes in and steals all of his big creeps on 0 HP.
All right, well, Niku's griefing.
That was just rude, man. That was
got the juice. Here comes that dive. You knew this was coming eventually. Got the juice, isn't quite dead yet. A shield crash comes through, sends the Pango back. A good snowball dodge on the shield crash. He didn't really get anything out of that one. Oh, what? How did that Timber Chain not hit the tree? That was crazy. He Quelling Bladed one of them, but there was a full forest that Mixa was heading at. but I guess it just fell a little shy of the other trees as a result. At least the support gets out, but the gyrocopter does get run down. I mean, you called it. If you start focusing too much on mid, the Timbersaw is going to punish the gyro.
Tough hero to punish when he has call down barrage, but no call down goes off. You're able to soak up some of that barrage damage.
Here. Navi Jr. setting up for him. That's not going to land on the whip, and he's running out of mana here as well. Now 21 magic wand charges, so he definitely has enough to heal up and do one more step. Goes for the TP out. The stun, the Rolling Thunder is there just in time, and now Niku shows up for the last hit.
Meanwhile, this gyro just solo killed Tusk 1v3.
Oh no.
OG feeling the pain of trying to fight into this hero with the call down still up. Didn't use it on that earlier fight. Gets to put it to use now. That's a massive find. Because now you're not killing this gyro and you're not hitting his tower. You just lost your support while your carry dies. See this timber chain. No, he just missed it.
Oh, he just missed it. It wasn't even a calling blade play.
No, he had tangos, but sometimes you just miss, you know?
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us. Mid tower did go down during a lot of that sequence, by the way. So that is important to note, as Puck will have some more space to operate with.
Yeah, usually it's the other way around, right? Usually Ember Spirit takes Puck's tower because he's a bit better at pushing in the lane, and then he just chips away at the tower with the orb.
That's why it's peculiar here. But it's a product of Niku fighting elsewhere. Like, he made the top play. He's made a couple plays off of that mid lane. Just hasn't been a priority for them this game. That said, he is the highest net worth out of the lane phase, and that is exactly what Navi Jr. want. They want this Mage Slayer online as fast as possible. They want max slight chains up as fast as possible, and then just
got the juice in some trouble.
Fight with it.
Meeks, can he do enough damage? He does. He took a lot there. As the call down comes through, glimpse back onto Riddies, and full retreat from the other two. They TP out. Ooh, and Niku gets there just half a second too late to collect one of the kills. Chains. And now Day sees his opportunity to get some little mental revenge on Niku.
They're really taking it to this gyrocopter. I feel like
Niku was pissed about it. He said,
he wants
you don't tip me, I tip you. Still gonna catch him on the remnant. Nice snowball dodge back. I mean, Day's he broke his ankles there.
He waited.
He's still gonna die, but it was a nice little play.
It's so BM, dude, just waiting. Well, you shouldn't have tipped him, I guess. That's the lesson there.
Do you think that Niku makes as aggressive move on Tusk if he didn't get tipped there?
Probably not.
Probably not, man. Like maybe he still goes for him. He still gets the kill, but he so aggressively was like, I'm going to triple remnant your ass, you know?
He got him. He got him in the end, so. The regen rune makes it kind of a free move. And these kills add up. Like, this is not the guy you want to be giving free solo kills to.
No.
Finally got the juice. He will give up that bottom lane. He will go into the stacks. Try and clear through some of this. This is not the easiest clear.
Reedies could use the experience. I'm surprised he's not soaking here, and he's not level 6 yet. Oh, no, he just got 6. Never mind.
Yeah, he's doing well. Just not that much damage on this gyro. Like, you're flacking for 90 damage here.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't called down.
This is the kind of game where you actually want the call down off cooldown. Right? It's maybe the one consideration, because you're just getting run at so much. I actually think this is the correct play, but it's just slow. Slow, man.
I know you're not a carry player, but where do you lie on the Aghanims first versus Chrysalis first on Gyrocopter?
I think the Chrysalis first is good when you have a very good lane and you're far ahead. I think if you're not ahead and you're recovering in the jungle, then you should rush the Axe. That's how I feel.
Okay. Fair enough. Smoke on 3 from Navi Jr. They push in the bottom wave and go through the gate. They're going after Shad. Not an easy kill. Last time they were able to kind of poke at him, get him to use one of those astral steps early. Plan to set this up. It's a little hard to see as if he spots the Bat Rider, it should just be able to disengage. And sure enough, that's what happens.
That's an ambitious kill attempt. very unlikely you get the Void Spirit this early in the game. I guess you do threaten him, you kick him out of a little bit of an area. But you did just get the Mage Slayer on the Ember, so Niku's super strong right now. Strongest hero on the map. If you can just play through him and find a couple picks with the chains, or take some fights where OG get baited into fighting this Ember, it's gonna be good times for Navi Jr.
Chad will be evening things out in that regard, though. As he'll have his Mage Slayer coming in very soon.
His is not as effective here, though. Is worth mentioning. Like it's good, but it's not as quick and as easy to use as this Ember's is.
Yeah, it's both more effective against OG and it's easier to use on Slight. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Also, I think the support combinations with the Ember going in are stronger than with the Void Spirit going in.
Yeah, fair. I mean, add on top of that, Void Spirit's just less likely to be in these fights as he's also your carry. He also needs to make sure he's still scaling up in the game. Can't be playing for team fights the entire way.
Does the Koji want to make a move right now? They have Arcane Rune Puck. They have ults on the supports. They're going to smoke and try and find a big core kill if they can get it with this coil into Static Storm.
I'm surprised they didn't go triangle just because you know there's stacking going on there and maybe you find the gyrocopter. But instead they opted to go to the lane to try and find the Pangolier. Bad timing on that one though. The Pango backed up for the 14-minute Wisdom Shrine at 15 minutes.
Do get a good ward out here.
They are going to catch Zayats doing these stacks. Now the kill by itself,
they're going to
whatever.
chase.
Oh, the Ember's going to chase after him. Got a chains only on to Days here. Still looking for that Tusk kill. He's going to be controlled up a little bit. Good whip comes in. Oh, right into the wheel too. Perfect timing there from Riddies. And with the Ember Spirit, they might just be able to chase him down. It's a missile, it's a Rolling Thunder, it's an Ember Spirit. There's so much going after Shad. They haven't gotten him just yet. A swashbuckle to finish him off. PMA, he's in pretty deep, but OG are full retreating out here. The gyrocopter still chasing after Days, who was the initial target of Ember Spirit's ire. Very good shards. Science, he'll try and catch up to him. Flame break, TP out. He's successful on that. There's no stuns and not enough damage.
Nice escape. That's a dangerous move for OG. We saw how fast Navi Jr. can respond. Diffusal, Pango, Mage Slayer, Ember. That is not a fight you want to take when you don't start it on the core with those big ults. And Niku just can't get a rune this game, man. Like, this is...
Yeah, seriously.
It's a brutal luck for him. He's going to miss out again. I don't think he's got a single one.
He's losing the runes to not even mid laners, you know? The Timberzaw's hanging around. He's picking it up. It's not even like it's going to Stormer every single time. Speaking of him, he is setting up the bottom lane. If they don't find a kill, they'll take the tower.
Very even game so far. Maybe some slight edge going Navi Jr.'s way with a little extra gold on Zayats from the stacking and everything, but it's negligible.
Yeah, it is. Do you favor Navi Jr. on scale? I think I do.
That's a tough... I think short term, yes. Very long term, no. I think
right. Okay, yeah.
Ultra late, like Void Spirit Puck is going to outscale you.
Right, and you get like Aghanim's Disruptor and such, but
yeah,
there's like that 35 to like 50-minute window where I think Gyro Ember is pretty strong, and the team fight initiation is easy for Navi Jr., right? Like they always have the Bat Rider initiation, which makes team fights just a lot easier to play.
It's Bat Rider versus no real save in a sense, so you have a glimpse, but not always reliable. Snowball save maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But then you're going into a lot of AoE. So yeah, I think Navi Jr. are going to be fine with their scale here, as long as this Gyro and Ember are strong, and this Puck and Void Spirit don't get out of control. But if we are talking like true 5-6 slots, I think Puck kind of carries this game along with the Void Spirit universal hero scale. Can't forget about Intrinsic Edge. It's so powerful. It's the Bat Rider blink reveal.
They would
Love to
love
find
to
this
catch the
puck.
puck. They have a ward on the puck, but they go after Daze. Doesn't initially work. He gets a snowball, but he's probably still going to be caught.
Trying to
As
save
they
the
do
lasso
have a bit of infinite chase. Coil turnaround. Now he's wishing he just used the lasso. Oh, Stormer burned out of his mana there. Oh, that was a dangerous position. Fortunately, he got the orb out before the burn. Back to mid lane, glimpse out on the Ember Spirit. He tried to dodge it with the illusion rune, did not work.
Pretty annoying glimpse, actually. Very low on remnants. Have to walk back across the map as Shad gets to push mid in at least a little bit against these illusions.
At least the illusions can keep the creep wave alive for you.
Yeah, he's dragging it back to himself. That was actually heads up play.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, not the first Blink Batrider gank they were hoping for.
No.
It's a very awkward find for them, and that'll be the Ags for the Timber. And Blink closing in for the puck, so the kind of aggressive early items for OG are coming online. They can start to make plays a lot more reliably, and there's instant smoke. Try and utilize this puck blink to set stuff up with the coil and then just drop everything.
Radiant are scanning.
Ooh, popped it and out.
Dire are scanning.
OG are not gonna find anything on this one.
That feels bad.
I found a ward. Something. Surprised his mid tower is still up.
Dire's
Navi Jr.
middle
just
tower
not gotten damage on it.
Given how close the Ember Spirit is to BKB, I mean, at least they clear out the area and they'll be able to get Tormentor. That'll feel good. Especially if, well, it goes to Kadaro.
tower has fallen.
Not as good.
No. An Arcane Rune. Niku, it's free. Nobody
It's your
else can
time.
get it.
Finally. He's so powerful, he
Immediately
instantly
smoke up
smokes.
with
It's like, guys, I got a power rune. I can play the game. Let's do
I'm surprised
something.
they don't wait for him to get BKB. They got BKB Gyro, and he'll soon have BKB, but they're rushing down to this bottom corner of the map. And Stormer, they know he's there, but he's already TP'd out. Orb TP away, nice and quick. Look at this play from the Disruptor, though. He's trying to steal the third Wisdom Shrine of the game.
It's very sneaky if it
Jarcopter is
works.
going to come back, and it's not yours anymore, I don't think, my friend. Okay,
get
never
it,
mind.
though.
He glimpsed him,
Okay,
but Zayats is here in time to contest it, and now he's also going to give up the kill.
Sad times for Kadaro. He went for the big play. Doesn't work out. That's how it goes sometimes. This should be BKB's done for the big heroes on the side of Navi Jr. That is Niku's 200 gold away. So you'll have BKB Gyro, BKB Ember. Very strong versus OG's lineup. Very hard to put damage into them at this point in the game.
Quick kill on Iridius. It'll make the BKBs, it'll make them pretty untouchable, but also make the Mage Slayer less effective, right? Oh, straight into the pit. OG are going to do Roshan without a hero that clearly does Roshan, right? They have like tag team, and that's kind of like the best they have. That's pretty interesting.
This is not the fastest Roche.
No.
And absolutely one Navi Jr. can stop.
Well, there goes that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A real re-smoke here. This could be huge if you can bring down one of these cores, then you can just do the Roche because it's already half.
Yeah, but who do you go on and how do you go on them? With the BKBs, got the juices clearly. He's sitting in the river back and forth through this Roshan area. Here's daring OG to go on him. Rolling Thunder trying to start things off. This is very aggressive from PMA. He is way ahead of the rest of his team. He does manage to get a double bump there onto the puck. So Stormer is already low. Phase shift, blink away. Nope, doesn't actually blink away. He's going to be caught in the chains. He's dead. Got the juice. Now fighting against this Timbersaw. Timbersaw with his Aghanim Scepter. It's going to wear out soon. They buy back onto the Stormer. They really want to take this fight. It's Navi Jr. who need to try and disengage now. With the wheel covering their tracks, they might just be able to get back through the staircase safely. Stormer's buyback, at least initially, does not pay out.
Still have the Gyro BKB. Held that the entire time. And you still have Blink Lasso here. expensive buyback from Stormstormer, yields nothing. Power of the BKB was really showcased there on the Ember. Like, you can just chase his puck down, and you know at some point you can pop the BKB and just be invincible and man up through the Static Storm. There's not a lot to protect him. Just gives Niku so much confidence in that fight. OG left scrambling to try and find something here. Going back in the pit round 2. This is still not really a play.
Yeah, this is beginning to feel desperate.
But this gyro is still super strong. Yeah, it's glimpsed again. That's annoying, but again, it's just annoying. It's not yielding you anything here. And Rolling Thunder is back up. You did not get anything during these cooldowns.
Chad jumping out, trying to catch something.
Look
here.
at the gyro's angle, though.
That's a Rolling Thunder death zone. You do not want to be on that staircase. Lasso.
What have you done,
Shad,
OG?
But they blow up the Bat Rider. Still, though, got the juices, fighting it out. Shad had to make his actual steps away. It will barely escape for now, but Team PMA dices up some of the back lines while the roll-in. Nice save there from Reeves. We got him inside the box, and the Timbersaw can't do the damage. They try and finish him off. The puck is off the minute. They do manage to get him. Niku falls. Obviously not a great exchange for OG, losing 3, but at least they got that Ember Spirit.
I thought that was going to be way worse for them, to be honest. The way they charge in there, got the juices behind them. The Pango rolls through almost everybody. The fact they get the Ember out of that is a blessing, because that fight could have gone a lot worse. Void Spirit's very low. The puck is very low. Could have been a dieback for him. Broach done forgot the juice.
Should actually do this or not. They still have the BKB on the gyro.
BKB. As long as you pick the Aegis up, it's fine.
Can he pick it up though? It might just get stolen away.
He gets
got the juice. He gets the grab on it. Stormstormer couldn't make the steal this time around, and instead they'll get heavily punished. Nice snowball pickup on the puck. He needed the extra help so he could blink away, but it'll leave Days out and killed. They lose their carry. They lose another support in their contest over the Roshan pit. If they could have grabbed the Aegis, maybe it would have been worth it. But as it is, Navi Jr. now with a commanding 7,000 net worth lead.
That's such a hard Aegis to grab, though, when you can throw Wheel of Wonder on top of it. Because then you have to look into the wheel to try and get this thing.
Yeah, right.
And it just ends up catching all the cores. Of course, you stole the gyro. BKB, the Broach arrived right as Got the Juice is finishing that Roche off. Gives him such an insane damage boost. Really nice timings hit by this gyro. And yeah, you just drop wheel, you BKB here. I mean, I don't think Shad ever had a chance of picking this up.
Yeah, now that you point out the wheel problem, that I think that was a fundamental problem with making that play.
I felt like that entire sequence was off. I'm not 100% sure why OG felt like they needed to force the Roche at that point in the game.
Trying to go over the gyrocopter while his BKB is on cooldown here. Box buys him a little bit of time, but that just opens up Reedy's potentially to get the kill onto him. Now, the Aghanim Sifter is protecting the Timbersaw, trying to cover it with the Static Storm, but they still lose their support. The Juice only finally dies. Shad, he ends up going down there towards the end of it, and Mixa no longer having his Aghanim Sifter. It's just Navi Jr. running the house, running the full swing of things as they will get the triple kill on Niku.
Stormstormer's not even at that. I mean, this is just way over ambitious. They are feeling the pressure, and it feels like they're desperate at this point. Just going for a desperation play on this gyro who has Aegis anyway. And my god, I don't think I've seen a neutral item enchantment do so much work relative to the neutral item. The Vampiric on that Mana Drought for the gyro was so good there. He's just lifestealing for so long. You get the spell lifesteal as well on all the barrages and everything. That's a value neutral item.
And the bad part is OG, they're a little behind. And then they try and make this awkward Roshan play, trying to force Navi Jr. into some sort of engagement, and that goes bad. And then they try and force it again, and that goes bad. And then they just keep on forcing things because they're behind. They feel like they need to make a move, and it just gets worse and worse. Now they're 12,000 in the bucket here. That is, I mean, this is one of those leads that this early on to the game where Navi Jr., you're pretty much guaranteed to be able to go high ground at some point.
Long way to that next Roshan as the Aegis gets taken down pretty early here. But your gyro's so big now. Feels like you can still just play really aggressive around the map. Especially if he finishes Satanic, which, by the way, it is finished.
Yep.
What
he got it so
massive
fast.
Item. Dude,
Like
he's
he
so
got that
far
Revenant's
ahead.
Brooch, won a team fight, then won another team fight, now has a Satanic.
He's untouchable. I don't know how OG deal with this guy right now if he's in the middle of the fight. And again, you can't really take heroes down because the BKB on the Ember and the roll-up / Rolling Thunder on the Pango. This static storm just feels useless. This is the problem with Disruptor. You fall behind, you play into BKBs, this hero does nothing for you. He's just complete dead weight. Need Ags, I guess. That's your only fallback option right now.
Yeah. What, Ags on the puck, you mean?
Ags on Disruptor, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, you gotta...
Okay, yeah. I was about to say,
Ags puck too.
I mean, I was gonna say Ags puck, but then the gyrocopter just sits there with his butterfly and satanic and just says, "What up?"
You gotta start ratting this game out and play for some later timings. I don't think you're winning the fights right now. This is the Timber
against Reedy's, who has a Yule Scepter, so he could set himself up, tame the beast into the wheel, and then OG comes in with all the damage. I mean, are they willing to take it into this corner, though, against this gyrocopter with his BKB and satanic? Timbersaw finally gonna die here. Daze dies on the way to trying to get to Mixu, and it's another situation where they're scrambling to try and get into a position to take the fight, and they just get walloped.
Orchid done on Miku, completely shutting down Shad there. This game's getting out of control. The responses have been scattered, to say the least, for OG, and I mean, you can see it on Navi Jr. They're feeling like they're about to win this game. They're about to go to TI. OG are just crumbling right now.
I mean, this goes back to what you set the stage with, like, what happens if OG loses a game in this series? Are they going to be able to handle that mental pressure? And I think it's fair to say that we're seeing some cracks here.
We're seeing them falter a little bit. Stormstormer just lost his courier as well that had full Octarine on it. So that's going to set the puck back. That Timber died as he finished BKB, but it was not flying out to him. If you have that, you can just BKB TP out. It's like all these little things are just not lining up for OG right now. They need to stabilize. They need to reset this game, reset the mentality, and just get a solid team fight where they're all together and you can lead with the puck. You can still win these fights if you kite out BKBs. Like, that's your one concern, but at this point, you have given so much gold to Navi Jr. that might just be too much to ask for. Like, these supports are rich. They have Glimmer, Yule's, Force Staff, a lot of utility to get through. You still don't have strong BKB peers to deal with the Ember Gyro. And now there's a Basher on this Pango. Even more control. They're just going to go high ground. Shield and Ember leading the charge. They're not going to wait for the next Roshan spawn. They say it's too far away. We want our invite now.
I'm in agreement with that. You have this massive window where you have Satanic. You don't quite have the Butterfly yet, but I'm not sure if it matters too much. You're mostly trying to deal with the magic damage of OG right now. And if OG could stall this game, they do have a later window, but right now it seems near impossible to take the team fight, and that's why they're opting out. They do not take the team fight for bottom. Are they going to take it for mid? Because got the juices and slowing down.
Tips are coming out. Raxes are falling. OG, what are you gonna do here? You gotta make some magic happen.
Trying to put something together. Quick initiation onto the gyrocopter. Shad, he goes to the back line, but he got Orchid in. Orchid it up. Static Storm to try and protect him, though, but it's not good enough. They still have the damage. Nico pops his own BKB, and he just lays into him. So does got the juice. It's just the physical damage by itself is a threat to OG. Buybacks are used, but they don't have one on Shad. Radius does get cut down by Mixa. Meanwhile, Stormstormer gets a beautiful coil onto 2. He can't commit to it, though, and the Ember Spirit's going to chase after him. Meanwhile, Mixa picks up by the snowball. Can he get away, though? Missile on him. A Timber Chain. Silence up for a little bit longer. Burst it down. Stormstormer still trying to struggle in the backline and kill some supports. Daze is going to get run down by the Bat Rider. Collects that kill. Stormstormer is now looking to cut waves as the enemy team has just destroyed his team, and they're inside of his base. They're going to take the mid lane of Barracks. They're going for the full kit and caboodle. They're going to go for Megas, and there's not much Stormer can do about it.
You can cut some waves, you can take a rune, but the fight is over. This game might be over. Expensive buybacks committed. More items rolling in for Navi Jr. Ags for the Ember. Butterfly done for the Gyro. Just got completely out of control this game, and there's another Orchid Chains.
This Orchid is just ruining Shad's life right now. Got the juice.
Just can't touch this guy.
Butterfly Satanic. He activates the Satanic early just to once make sure he's topped off for the upcoming team fight. No chance of getting burst boosted down. They found their jump. They found the lasso on a Stormstormer. He's got a buyback. Meanwhile, PMA, he catches the Disruptor, takes him out of the fight. Nuku's able to join him with the Remnants together. A backline kill and a clean retreat. Now they're going to jump on Amiksa with the wheel, though he's not looking at it just yet, but he can't get away either. He's stuck in it, got the juice, still at half HP. Only so much Stormstormer can do. Damage department locked up in the chains. Orchid up, 1 second. He has to blink away into the fountain days. He does manage to get the kill on Zion, but he gives...